Growing up, I was in a household that was just developed with story and narrative, and coming from a rooted place here in New Mexico, we're inspired by the land and all the people that are here and all the history that's here. Starting as an artist as a kid, just always being nurtured in my family to be that. Come from a long line of artisans and creators. And I was just really nurtured to always be taking these stories on and putting them into the future, so I see that as a big responsibility of mine. I'm Jesse Littlebird, and I'm an artist and gallery owner working here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I think my creative process is differing on the different types of mediums I work in. Primarily right now I'm known as a painter. I think exploration is the fun part of creating art, and that leaves room open for seeing a lot of different things, and I don't ever think what I'm doing is something new. I just think I'm doing it now. Approaching my art practice from more of an Indigenous perspective, it's more about perpetuating stories that have always been here and things that we've already all known. So not looking at things so linearly, but more as everything's kind of cycles in that sense. To narrow it down to one way of a process, I really look at things as time. My landscapes reflect a lot of that, and I like to think that the land itself holds its own memory. As humans, we think we're the center of the universe and that we're always going to be here, but the land was here before us and the land will be here long after us. I would say New Mexico has always been a trade route. Artisans have been coming here forever and exchanging ideas and culture and knowledge for a very, very long time. And I think because of that, this place has a natural pull to it. And there's also a community here that have grown up and lived here for a very long time. And they have ancestors, and they feel all the responsibility of that, of keeping of this space. And not just within art, but within craft and traditions. It's a long tradition of artists working here. And specifically Albuquerque, I think it's more newer place. There's a lot that gets mixed up in it, and there's a lot of interaction with different types of people. And I think as an artist, that's some of the most important thing you can do, is interact with all different types of people of society. I remember as a child going into someone's studio just off the street, kind of like how similar my spot is down here, and being really enamored in it and seeing that oh, this is someone works here, you know? And it's not a traditional business in a way. It's someone's working there in a creative field. And I've always been very free in having my space open to the public or to people, even though it's a kind of very private place in some sense. This being my current iteration of a studio, I've had many studios here in Albuquerque. This one I feel is the most touched directly to the public. I think that each space that I've been in has held its own certain energy, and a lot of that comes from the people that go through it and cycle through it, the people that work in it, the collaborations that happen in it, the period of time that I'm in my life too. And so I think studio spaces are vital to a creative's journey and lifeblood in their career, but also just their own mental health and a lot of other ways in their community. I don't think I would have any success as myself as an individual without all the people that have collaborated with me and helped me along the way. And a project that I'm really excited about is the community gallery that we have that's next door. At our gallery, our main mission is to represent underrepresented artists and define what that means. And that means anything from giving someone their very first show they've ever had, you know, that's only been painting for a year, to giving someone that's been in the scene or is a veteran, and everyone maybe needs a little reminder that they're a top artist, not just in Albuquerque, but the world. Wanting success is not just wanting success for yourself, but wanting success for others. The impact I always want to have is I want to be a good member of the community, but also I want to be a good relative. We all relate to each other within our community, so we're all relatives, if you look at it that way. So if I see someone that's having success, you should be applauding them, because a win for them could be a win for us as a state or us as a city. I feel very fortunate that I get to be an artist, especially in today's day and age. Being a working artist still has its pitfalls, you know. You're making a living off of this. You're making a living off your talent. Always bet on yourself and your talent. I just took a lot of risks and they paid off. They're not always gonna pay off. Some people have been making the same work for more than a decade and they haven't seen that little tipping point of success yet. And they might just be right on the verge of that, you know? But also it might be, they may need to do something different. And so that's the risk, that's where the risk comes in. The odds are really stacked against you that you're gonna be successful as an artist. And there's ways to find success that, you know, you might not even see it as that way too. I think for myself and for other artists, we're always constantly redefining what success means. So my idea of success now would be longevity. Can I continue to do what I want to do for the rest of my life? Good things are always going to happen if you continue to stay in the studio.